775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I do deliver it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And, of course, another beautiful day on Ron Siegel Radio. So we are celebrating today. Sometimes our celebrations, though, are more a issue of remembrance. So it's not necessarily pleasant today, but we do remember and honor those. Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day is today. And remember that fateful day in Hawaii, Honolulu. And we do remember that day well. But on a brighter note, today is National Cotton Candy Day.
It is what it is.
Not one of my favorites, but, we'll go with it anyway. Yesterday, though, Gazpacho Day, I missed that one. And Sausage Tort Day was on Saturday. That was a good one as well. Rhubarb Vodka was Saturday. Just give me some plain old Kettle One, Belvedere, Purity. Do I need to go on? All those sound pretty good to me. Did have a great meal, though. I don't know if you've ever been there. I was went with a group to Red O in Newport Beach on Saturday. Tremendous restaurant. Highly recommend it. If you haven't been there, let me know what you think. Haven't been there? You should go and check it out. Hey, let's see what the markets are doing. Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 109 points. S&P 500 down 3.83. The NASDAQ is up 46.88. Why the big divergence between the NASDAQ and the other markets? Well, we'll have to look into that one for you. We'll also look and see, gasoline or oil, I guess, down 14 cents per barrel. And the 10-year Treasury down 2 basis points, 0.945. Looking at all of the rate markets, the bond markets, the treasuries, Germany's down further, Italy's down, Spain down, UK down, Japan down. Yeah, none of them are looking too exciting today. 1 in 10 employees cited COVID-19 in halting their 401k contributions. That's not a good idea.
You know better than that.
But you know something? There's a lot of people that are hurting out there right now. We understand that. And in Venezuela, the government does what they can to exacerbate the pain. Yeah, and I understand. I'm going to have all kinds of people telling me that the coronavirus, it's like a repeat record, coronavirus. I know it's a serious virus. I also know the fatality rate is 0.2%. Actually, 0.02%. 0.02. 99.8% of the people recover. Right? So think about that issue when you're thinking about, how many businesses are going out. Ironically enough, our waitress at Red O on Saturday said she knows a tremendous amount of her friends filing for divorce, financial stress, the locking down, being stuck at home, for better or for worse, but not for lunch. Just throw that out there. The whole idea here is there's a lot of pain right now, and the side effects or the other effects of these lockdowns, maybe they're as serious or more serious than the virus itself, because we know the virus is going to affect a very, very, very small subset of the population. All of the other issues are affecting the masses. And then when you see the hypocrisy of who's considered essential and who's not, right? A restaurant, non-essential. Go make a movie, that's essential. I guess we can't live without movies, right? I mean, although who's going to be able to afford the TVs? The movie theaters are closed. Electricity, you're not going to be able to afford that because you're not working. So what's the idea here? Where is it going? What are we going to do with all of these things? That's the big issues right now. But hey, let's take a look and see what the effect is. Gasoline here in Calizuela, $3.18.5. So figure that's about 38 cents more than they are paying for gasoline in the oil-producing state of Missouri, 181.3. 216 is our national average. Hawaii, 326.4. Only state in the union that pays more for gasoline than we do in Calizuela. Yeah, but something that amazes me as I continue watching what's going on in our marketplace in our world. As you and I continue to be told to stay home, more and more people are finding that they are getting subsidies from the state, from the county, from the city. How's all this happening? I just wonder where in the world these municipalities are coming up with the money that they're giving away, right? I know Calizuela's broke. Calizuela's bankrupt. Every city that I see, their budgets are in shambles because they're not getting their sales tax revenue. People are not going out to work. They're telling them to stay home. Yet they're giving away money like it's growing on trees. I guess they're figuring that they're going to get all that money from the next stimulus package. Is it going to ever come? I question it, right? I mean, if they don't get it done before President Trump leaves office, I wonder if it'll get done at all. But if you remembered back during the days of President Obama, the Republicans were not too excited about giving the president any wins. Remember the days of President Trump, the Democrats didn't care. Nancy Pelosi never, ever cared what happened to the American people as long as she did not get a win for President Trump.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Right, you remember that saying from Nancy Pelosi? That was during the days of the Obamacare, right? The Unaffordable Care Act. So that's just about gone now. So with all these states giving away money like they've got it, I guess they're all expecting that they're going to get more and more money from a Biden administration, yet who's got the purse strings? Now, I watched even a Democrat representative in Georgia this morning urging Georgians to vote for the Republicans in the Senate runoff race. That's the race that's going to control everything in Georgia, and it'll control the power in Washington, right? Because if the Republicans control the Senate, that's going to put limitations on Nancy Pelosi and what she can do. It's going to put limitations on Joe Biden and what he remembers. Oh, no, he won't even remember what he's doing. So that's a different issue right there. So just think about some of those things. And now if you get the Democrats urging their constituents to vote Republican, you may not even see any more stimulus. But I digress. Let's continue watching and seeing what's going on in the marketplace. Orange County. Yeah, they're not going to enforce. The Orange County Sheriff says he's not going to enforce the COVID Act or the shutdown. Now, here's what I find fascinating, and I do not know the answer, but I'm just going to throw this out there. Governor Newsom came out and said, well, if the counties and cities are not going to enforce his order, he might have to divert money to the areas that will. On the 10th of December, property taxes are due. We pay our property taxes to the county collector, county recorder, or the county, I don't know who it is. The county collects the taxes. And then they forward the portion of them to the state. I wonder what would happen if the counties start saying, you know something, Governor, we agree. We don't want to have you send us money, so we'll just hang on to your money, the money that was going to go to the state. Can it be done? I don't know. I'm just a curious individual. I'm a taxpayer, citizen. I just throw my thought out there, see, you know, what's the scenario in there? Can it be done? A lot of people, again, still hurting because of this shutdown, went into effect last night. But you know something? I've heard of about a half a dozen restaurants now that are saying, you know something? If we close, we go out of business. If we stay open, the state may put us out of business. So we think that we may just stay open and see if we can survive. You know something? I think we need an underground list of these places. I have no problem supporting businesses that are out there actually trying to do what's right for their people, what's right for their community, because we've already seen that these lockups, and I don't even think they're constitutional, in my opinion, but we've already seen the lockups don't solve the problem, right? We continue to see the cases rise. Look what's happening in Florida. Compare Florida to Calizuela. Right, Florida, they've locked it. They're wide open. You can go to Disney World. You can go to a restaurant. You can go shopping. You can celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah. You can do all of these things. Calizuela, no. In Florida, their cases are spiking. In Calizuela, their cases are spiking. So either way, the cases spike. Only Calizuela is putting people out of jobs, out of business. Is that the idea? I don't think that was the intention. Oh, well, you know something. It is Governor Gruesome and it is Mayor Garcetti. Maybe that is their intention, is to see what they can do, because, you know, they've got a vested interest in these things. I'm not a fan of either one of those. You probably knew that already. Anyway, we're going to continue our conversation. We've got a lot to cover today. We have a few other news items, how remote work can power your vacation home sale. Unexpected FICO score changes, smart money moves to make before the end of the year, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numero 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Our house in the middle of our street.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Dreaming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestatewithron.com and click the free workshop button.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime. At 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Reach them at ronismylender.com or text My Home Mortgage to 79564. My Home Mortgage to 79564. What's happening in the markets today? The Dow Jones now down 133 points. NASDAQ up 50 points. The S&P 500 up or down 3.8. 10-year Treasury down 3 basis points to 0.936. Mortgage-backed securities, they are up 9 basis points, which is good news for the markets. Good news for those people who are contemplating a new home loan or refinancing. If you haven't contemplated that new home loan or refinancing, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Again, stocks lower, mortgage bonds higher, bounced off support. The Citi Panic Euphoria Index, which is a great contrarian indicator, increased from 1.1 to 1.51. 0.4 tells us that we are anything above 0.41 considered euphoria. So we're just about 4 times that level. The indicator would lead us to believe that stocks may be due for a pullback. If that were to occur, we could see money coming out of the stocks and into the bond market, which might make it even better for our interest rate market. Last week, the Mortgage Bankers Association latest quarterly report showed about 35% of refi applications do not go through. Surprising that this number is so high. It is not because rates have moved higher. It's because the customer was probably offered a better rate somewhere else or property didn't appraise. Well, why would that be a surprise to anybody? Good lenders have those tools at their fingertips to understand, number one, what is the property value before you try and get it appraised. About 85% of the loans go through with an appraisal waiver if you're just doing a straight rate and term refinance. So those are all issues. Those are not the cause of what's going on. So then you start looking and saying, well, if you got a better rate, and I do hear some commercials talking about this. Now, if you're already in process with somebody else, give us a call and see if we can beat their rate. Well, of course they can beat the rate. Anybody can beat anybody's rate anytime they want to because they just lowball. But is that what's best for you? So if you are just about to close a loan today, tomorrow, next week, and you start all over again, find out what it will cost you to wait. Because you might save, what are you going to save? An eighth of a point? Okay, so an eighth of a point, $18, $20. But by waiting, it's going to cost you the lower payment, or getting out of debt sooner if you're doing a debt consolidation loan. And then what ends up happening? Well, it takes you a year, 2 years to break even on saving that eighth of a point. Is that worth it? I'm going to suggest it probably is not. I'm just throwing that out there for you. But hey, look at the numbers. Get a chart of it and figure it out. See exactly how long that will take. And then see if the strategy that your advisor is offering you is going to be beneficial to you. That's a biggie. A lot of people don't even think about that part of it. What is the value of the strategy or the guidance that you might be getting? And I'm going to submit to you that in many times the guidance is very, very beneficial. We can show you, hey, how do you make 4 payments act like 10 payments on the amortization table? Well, think about that. What's your home loan? 4 payments at, say, $2,500 is $10,000. How do you make that act like 10 payments on that amortization table? Pretty interesting concept right there. But if your advisor doesn't understand it, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to deal with that? Is there value there? Another report out, Zumper reported that renters moving home to live with their parents has increased by 50% from last year. Ow! Yeah, not exactly what many parents are looking for. The news highlights of the week: Consumer Price Index and Producer Price Index inflation reports in a 10-year and 30-year auction come out this week. Last time we had these auctions, though, they were pretty weak. But with the 10-year at 0.94%, there might be a little bit more demand there. So we're going to watch all of that. We're also watching how that mortgage bond is bouncing around the 25-day moving average. So just a thought there for you. I give that information to you on a regular basis. Get the guidance. If you're talking about a $500,000, $200,000, $700,000, whatever the loan amount is that you're talking about, if you're just looking for the best rate, hey, go to Walmart. They can probably help you with that. If you're looking for the best solution for your family, well, then you might want to go to a professional guidance counselor who understands the market. I'll just throw that out there for you. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. RonIsMyLender.com, or text My Home Mortgage to 79564. My Home Mortgage, 79564. What's going on in the marketplace today? We're watching it like a hawk for you. I know we had some movements here that we can chat with you about, or some reports that I wanted to get into with you. But we are coming up, obviously, on the end of the year. And I thought I'd give you a couple of smart money moves before the end of the year that you might want to take advantage of. So let's look at the first one is pay yourself, boost your retirement account contributions. Read a great book. A friend, Barry Habib, sent me this message, and they were looking at a couple of books that are in the marketplace. Barry Habib sent this one. I'm trying to find the actual name of it, but I found it to be a very, very fascinating book. I think you might as well. Pretty quick read. It's a very simple book. I'm trying to find it in my library. I don't read, as you know. I just do Audible. So it's The Richest Man in Babylon. Richest Man in Babylon. And I highly recommend the book. And it talks about the same thing. Pay yourself first. So, Ron, I got a bunch of debts. I get it. Pay yourself first. So what is the concept of the book? What is the concept of the guidance? Take a look at all of your debts, whatever you have, and just make a schedule of all those debts. And then you look at what you're making. Your first 10% of whatever you earn, put that into a retirement account, whatever the number is. Then the 70% is what you need to live on. The remaining 20%, allocate that, prorate that to all of your debts. So you're paying yourself first. You're paying yourself 10%, and then you're giving the 20% to your creditors and then living off of the remaining 70. If you'll do that, you'd be amazed at how much better you'll be doing and how much better you will feel, right? Because you're going to see your retirement account growing, and you're going to see your debts diminishing. Your creditors are going to say, you know something? I see that John is a good guy. He's trying to make it right. We've got a plan to get paid. And a lot of times there is no plan to get paid. People just ignore or hide. But hey, you know something? If you've got that money going out there on a regular basis and you've got that planned program, you're going to be in much better shape. I suggest to you, give that a shot. 10% to your retirement account, 20% to your debts, and live off the other 70. If it means you have to give up that Starbucks, so be it, or increase your income. But even on the increased income, same formula, 10, 20, 70. Second thing I would recommend, estimate your 2020 taxable income. It's too late after January in most cases to do anything to save tax money. Estimate that taxable income now so you can figure out what are you going to need? What is the tax liability that you're going to have? Maybe if you have the ability to defer some income to next year, maybe you can put some additional money into your retirement, into your 401k, into your deferred plan. Talk to your tax professional, get a plan. Get a plan in place for next year as well. You've got the pieces of information you need, like what you expect to earn in 2021, your healthcare premiums, daily expenses, planned retirement account, FSA, HSA contributions. So put a plan together for 2021. Work with that financial advisor that was helping you estimate your 2020 taxes. And, you know, one of the things that I'm a big fan of, donate to a cause that's important to you. Find some of that 70% to give to those who have less than you, and there will always be somebody that has less than you. My late grandmother said, look up and you'll see better, look down and you'll see worse. And thank God for what you have, because there are always people who are less fortunate than us. Hey, even if it's just a fact that they live in a different country. Hey, Jason, good to see you on here today. I'm glad you're there, and I appreciate having you on. And if anybody's not on social media following my man Jason Cisneros, great information. He is a true warrior looking out for American people. And I know that he was spending quite a bit of time dealing with people that were in human trafficking. We all hate that. So take a look at what he's doing out there. He's got some great stuff going on. Appreciate you being here. So we are going to take a quick break. We're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to talk. We've got quite a bit of information for you that we're going to be sharing. How remote work can power your vacation home. Is buying a home today a good financial move? Unexpected FICO score changes, all that. And we got that featured home brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel, and if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there is an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice. So it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace. place.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text HCD to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text HCD to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The digest will actually have exactly what the county recorder knows about your property, exactly what the market believes about your property, and it's all free. It's a monthly email that you get from your friends at Ron Siegel Radio giving you that information. How remote work can power your vacation home sale. This year, the opportunity to work remotely has increased the demand for vacation homes. Gay Koraratn, senior economist and director of housing and commercial research at the National Association of Realtors, NAR, notes, quote, working from home is a positive factor in demand for vacation homes, unquote. Buyers are taking advantage of the fact that working from home might be someplace other than their primary residence at the beach, in the mountains, or somewhere in between. NAR explains, quote, sales in vacation home counties increased 48% on average year over year in the third quarter. Overall, 81% of vacation home counties saw a year over year sales increase. Is it time to sell your vacation home? If you've been thinking about selling your vacation home, putting it on the market now, while demand is high, might be your best move. Here are two reasons why. Number one, vacation homes are selling quickly. These homes are not staying in the market for very long. NAR also notes in September, 68% of vacation homes sold in less than a month. Historically, about 30% sell that quickly. It's a pretty amazing uptick compared to past years. Number two, home prices are rising. With an increase in demand, prices go up. NAR continues, quote, in the third quarter, prices in vacation home counties rose by about 32% year over year. 79% of these counties experienced year over year price gains. NAR defines a vacation home county as one in which seasonal housing accounts for at least 20% of stock, unquote. If your vacation home is sitting idle, maybe not attracting as many renters as you usually see, or if you simply want to sell it so you can trade up or take it off your worry list, now may be the time. Demand is high, so you're in the ideal spot to get a stronger return on your investment today. Bottom line is demand is on the rise. If you're thinking about buying a new home, buying a vacation home, maybe it's the right time for you to give us a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564, SLT Home Digest, 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. But now we have to ask the question, is buying a home today a good financial move? Now, we know, and we've talked about this, the reports coming out of the Harvard School of Business and their research has told us over the years that financial issues is probably like the fourth or fifth reason why somebody buys a home, 4 or 5. But it is a concern. There's no doubt 2020 has been a challenging year. A global pandemic coupled with an economic recession has caused heartache for many. However, it's also prompted more Americans to reconsider the meaning of quote-unquote home. What's home mean to you? Is it a newer issue? What does it mean? Quest for a better place, better equipped to fulfill our needs, along with record low mortgage rates, has skyrocketed demand for home purchases. This increase in demand, on top of severe shortage of homes for sale, has also caused more bidding wars and thus has home prices appreciating rather dramatically. Some, therefore, have become cautious about buying a home right now. The truth of the matter is, even though homes have appreciated by a whopping 6.7% year over year, 6.7% year over year, that is a huge number, and we're going to use that in our study here in just a minute. The cost to buy a home has actually dropped, largely due to mortgage rates falling by a full percentage point. Let's take a look at the monthly mortgage payment on a $300,000 house 1 year ago. Compare it with that same home today after it's appreciated by 6.7% to $320,000. Now, if you are watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, or the AM 1490 KMET ABC News and Talk video, you're going to see a chart on the screen. And it shows that if you bought a home last year and you paid $300,000 mortgage, you had an interest rate, according to Freddie Mac. We always go by the Freddie Mac rates. This is as of November 14th of 2019 versus the current rate. So last year you paid 3.75%. The monthly payment on that, principal and interest, remember you have to deal with taxes and insurance, and this is just for educational purposes, not giving the APRs because we understand that we're educating. We are not offering you anything here. But last year, that $300,000 mortgage, 3.75% interest, the cost of that home was $1,389 a month. We've talked about cost versus price in the past, but cost has to do with what is your payment, right? And that payment is a function of your purchase price, your loan amount, and the interest rate. Today, that same $300,000 home would cost you, or price would be $320,000. The interest rate, though, 2.72, $1,302 principal and interest. So the cost of that home has actually dropped. Even though the price went up, the cost dropped. So you save $87 a month by purchasing that home today, which equates to over $1,000 a year. But isn't the economy still in a recession, is the question? Of course it is. That, however, may make it a perfect time to buy your first home or move up to a larger one. Tom Gill, a Harvard-trained negotiator and real estate investor, recently explained, quote, when volatile assets are facing recessions, hard assets such as gold and real estate thrive. Historically speaking, residential real estate has done better compared to other markets during and after recessions, unquote. That thought is substantiated by the fact that homeowners have 40 times the net worth of renters. Odetta Kushi, deputy chief economist for First American Financial Corporation, recently said, despite the risk of volatility in the housing market, numerous studies have demonstrated that home ownership leads to greater wealth accumulation when compared with renting. Renters do not capture the wealth generated by house appreciation, nor do they benefit from the equity gains generated by monthly mortgage payments, which become a form of forced savings for homeowners, unquote. Again, with home prices increasing, mortgage rates perhaps poised to begin rising as well. Are they going to go up or are they going to go down? We don't know. The likelihood of them going too much further down is not very high. Buying your first home or moving up to a home that better fits your current needs likely makes a ton of sense. Just saying there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got that featured home brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. Unexpected FICO score changes. And watch out for deferred interest financing during the holidays. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@RonSiegelRadio.com or call today, Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL-BRE number 018694552.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. Yeah, MySoCalLender.com. Hey, it's a Jim Salem. Jim Salem property. Jim Salem's got that property. Yeah, it's a nice looking property over there. Let me get you the information on it so you can actually see what we're looking at from our friend Jim. And there's actually an interesting financing component to this one from our buddy Jim. So let's take a look at it. 745 South Dove Tree Lane, 4 bedrooms, 2 full, 1 3/4 bath. Resort style living in beautiful, spacious Anaheim Hills pool home. Quiet cul-de-sac street, gate guarded Belsame, 4 bedroom, 3 bathroom, includes a main floor bedroom and bath. Decorator paint and newer carpeting. Designer lighting, living room with wainscoting and vaulted ceiling. Dining room has exposed wood beams and French doors. The family room features a fireplace, a bar with wine fridge, spacious kitchen with large island and built-in stainless refrigerator and appliances with a breakfast nook. Some pretty nice pictures on there. $1,198,000 is the asking price for the property. But here's some information on there when you're looking at this. How about 10% down, $6,726 a month. Principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and the HOA fees. Principal and interest is $45.46 a month. Put 20% down, your principal and interest payment, $40.41 a month. And what if you were to buy down the interest rate on there? Right? So you put 25% down, buy down the interest rate, you're looking at $3,609 a month. For those of you keeping score out there, the APR is 3.21, 3.041, and 2.825. Keeps the compliance people happy. NMLS 217037. But think about this concept, and we do this on our featured. We're going to talk about this on our featured home here. Buying down the interest rate. Sometimes I hear people say, well, I'm going to put down 28%, 29%, right? Because they round off the number. 25% on this $1,198,000 home is $299,500. But what if you had just sold a house and you have $350,000 cash out to put into a new home? Would you put $350,000 down on this property? Or maybe, what if you did just this, call it $299,500, put down $300,000 and put 2 points toward buying down the interest rate? Look what happens when you buy down the interest rate on this property. You're talking about saving $300 or $400 a month. Now, I just talked to you about the idea of putting down an extra on a $1,198,000 home. 2% comes out to $23,960. I know that's about $24,000, right? So, but what if we were to take that same money and if we saved $300 a month over a 30-year loan? That's going to save $108,000. Now, the question mark comes on this one is, what is your plan? Are you planning on staying in the property? So what we really want to do is we look at that number and we say the $1,098,000 on that 2% is $24,000. So if we take that $24,000 and divide that by, say, $300 a month, that's 7.5 years. Right? Think about that. Actually, it's a little under 7 years. So you're looking at under 7 years. You're going to be there over 7 years. then it makes sense to do that. If you're not going to be over there or keep the loan over 7 years, then it doesn't make sense. But my point here, and I've said this to you many, many times, sometimes when you just go and act on your own, you don't always get the best results because, strategy beats rate always. Strategy, you put that $350,000 down, and you've been looking at this and saying, you know something, doesn't make any sense, right? But if you don't understand where these strategy parts come into these things, if no one's giving you that guidance, well, then you may have just gone and put that money down there and lost $108,000. Now, I talked to you a little bit earlier today about the concept of what happens, the what if concept, right? The what if you find somebody comes to you and you're in the middle of a refinance and they say, hey, John, you know what? I could save you 1/8 of a point. Well, maybe that 1/8 of a point doesn't make sense because that 1/8 of a point, when you're talking about large properties, when you're talking about a jumbo loan, if you're talking, it's not even a large property. If you're talking about properties in Southern California, right? We've got a lot of them here in Anaheim Hills. You got $1 million properties. That's not like it's a large property. It's not out of the ordinary. But when you look at some of these properties and you're talking about a 25% down payment, and you start looking at some of the numbers on there and you start saying, okay, what's the cost or what's the payment difference on 1/8 of a point? Well, if you're looking at a $900,000 loan, the difference in 1/8 of a point is $60. Right? So it's $60. Now take that $108,000, take that $60 that you're saving times 360. So you just saved $21,000 over the life of the loan, but the strategy would have saved you $108,000. But you didn't know the strategy because you wanted to go to Walmart to get your loan. Think about that. We haven't even talked about the 410 strategy that I spoke to you earlier about. Just throw that out there for you. And I want to give you all that information because I've shared it so many times and people always question me, Ron, what do you mean strategy beats rate? Well, that's where the strategy beats rate dialogue comes from, is where we're just going in and saying, you know something, let's understand what your short and long-term goals are, and then let's figure out from there what really makes sense for you and your family, and we'll operate under that particular concept. I also wanted to chat with you about, I guess I should tell you that's the featured home segment brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. So let's chat a little bit about interest, or not interest rates, but your FICO scores, watching out for that deferred interest financing during the holidays biggie. So how does deferred financing work? It's a 0% deferred financing offers. They're like this. You apply for the credit card or the account. If approved, you can charge that purchase you're making to the card on the same day, even right at the cash register in some cases. You get a certain number of months at 0 interest. This is known as the promotional period or interest-free period or teaser. Here's the kicker. If you pay off that purchase in full by the end of the promotional period, you're in the free and clear. You won't owe any interest at all, and it will truly be an interest-free financing. But if you don't pay off the full balance, you're going to be charged interest retroactively back to the very start on most of the plans. Thus, you won't save any money at all, and you'll be slapped with that big interest charge all at once. And since deferred financing cards generally carry higher than normal interest rates outside of that 0 period, you'll have an even larger amount to pay off. These types of cards are especially tricky because if you just make the minimum monthly payment, you won't generally pay off the charge by the end of the promotional period. This means if you rely on the credit card issuer to tell you how much to pay, you're virtually guaranteed to have to pay that big interest charge. How deferred financing cards differ from 0 intro APR cards. Deferred financing cards will charge you interest all the way back to the start if you don't pay off your balance in full by the end of the promotional period. 0% intro APR cards, on the other hand, won't charge you interest retroactively. If you still have a balance at the end of the promotional period, you'll owe interest on that smaller balance loan, and that's it. Deferred financing cards market themselves very similarly to 0% intro APR cards. It's easy to see how you might be confused by the issue. To clue you in on whether a card is deferred financing card, look for language like no interest paid if paid in full by X date. Otherwise, it just says no interest for X months with no other rules or qualifiers. Chances are it's a 0% APR card. So just be careful of those. Make sure you're watching your budget. I use the 0% cards. But what I do are the 0% teaser rates, the deferred interest, because I don't mind having the money in my account instead of theirs. What I do is the day that I make that purchase, I go into my bank and I set up a automatic payment for exactly the same amount every month. I just divide it out by 1 month less than the deferral period. So if it's until December of 2021, I'm going to go and put 11 payments in there. So I'm paid off by November, and I don't even have to think about it. Just a thought for you. As always, though, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or need any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. Talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.